is rarely discussed and it is often misunderstood. So here to bust some myths and share some tips is Emmy Award-winning journalist and menopause advocate, Tamsen Fadal.
Hi,
Tamsen! Girl, where have you been all my life, or at least these last 5 years? Okay. There have not been enough conversations about menopause, so why do you think that is?
You know, this is something for such a long time there was such a stigma about. There was so much silence, and women would suffer because, one, they didn't have anyone to talk to about it, and our moms were never talking to us about it.
Right.
So we didn't know what to do. So when I went through my experience, I didn't know what it was. I ended up on the floor of the bathroom at work, staring at the side of the toilet, thinking like, what is going on? Flat on the floor. And I realized that, you know, this is something that we need to discuss. We have to shatter the silence about this. And we've got to do it for each other, because by the year 2025, 1 billion women are going to be in menopause.
Ooh.
So we're all going to be dealing with it. Men are going to be dealing with it, and so are we.
Yeah, because the men are on the edge of their seat going, please help me. So, like, so many women are nervous about going into menopause because we don't even know what it means.
Sure.
But what are, like, the top 3 myths about menopause?
You know, I'm glad you asked that, because there's a lot of misinformation out there
Right.
about menopause, which is what makes it so confusing. So the first one is that menopause automatically begins when you turn 50. A lot of things happen when you turn 50. That is not the only thing that happens.
Okay.
Menopause can start early in your 40s, even 30s, some of those symptoms.
Ooh.
So we're talking perimenopause, and then you hit menopause.
Who was Perry? That's what I want to know.
Well, Perry is a tough one, because I'd never heard of that word before, right? And all of a sudden, you start getting all these symptoms. That leads up to menopause.
Okay.
You hit menopause, and then you get postmenopause. Ooh. So you're in it for a long time.
Oh my gosh, okay, what's the next myth?
So myth number 2 is that menopause automatically ends after a few years. The truth is, it doesn't end. Once you're in it for life.
Okay, you are, oh
I'm
shit.
sorry.
I'm in it for life? You gotta be kidding me. There's no end date to menopause?
There's no end date. Here's what happens. You know, your symptoms start to dissipate a little bit. But the truth of the matter is we're always postmenopausal after this. It's funny, I was at dinner the other night, and I was talking to the guy that was sitting next to me, and he goes, my wife's almost already through that menopause thing. And I went, oh. No, I'm gonna break your little heart. That is not the case. She is postmenopausal.
What am I supposed to put on my Bumble profile? That the menopause never ends? Come to pick me, swipe right, girl.
Forever.
Oh gosh, okay, what's the next myth?
All right, I know, I'm sorry. We just got one more. Okay. Menopause means you're old. Well, the truth is, that just means that this is a great time and you're ready for your next transition.
Okay.
Because I look at menopause, yes, right?
I like that.
This is your best self. You're living it right now.
I'm telling you.
So you know.
Okay, don't let anybody tell you. Does not mean you're old. Now, you recently went TikTok viral for listing that there are 34 symptoms of menopause. I did not know this. Now, what symptoms were you most surprised by?
Gosh, you know what? We've heard about the hot flashes,
yes,
as we all know, and the night sweats. There were some other symptoms out there that shocked me, though.
What?
Tingling extremities. I don't know if anyone's had this, where you feel like something's going on.
And my skin.
You're touching it, and nothing's happening. So that's one of them.
Right.
A lot of them obviously caused by a lack of estrogen, including decreased libido.
Okay. Oh, girl, the libido. When am I gonna have sex? That's what I want to know.
I know.
That's all I used to think about was sex. Now I sleep all the time. What the hell?
Trust me, I know. I got remarried at 50, and I'm like, what? Well, this was bad timing on my part.
What else surprised you?
Brain fog, a big one, where you're just constantly, you're in a conversation, you're searching for that word. Like, what was I?
So that's not getting older. That's like the menopause, brain fog.
The menopause, the brain fog. And it's really, you know, it's hard. And then burning tongue is another one. I don't know if you've ever had that, but like your mouth kind of burns. Have you had that one yet?
No, I did put that on my profile, though. I got a burning tongue. That'll get you something. Sorry.
Well, that might not be a menopause thing.
It wasn't, that ain't menopause, girl. Now, all right, so now tell me this. Okay, I forget this is daytime. I feel like we're at the bar talking.
We can do that afterwards.
Okay. Now, once you're diagnosed with menopause, what are some tips for managing the symptoms?
Yeah, you know, it's really important. I think the most important thing is you find a doctor you trust, because a lot of women are dismissed by their doctors. Yeah. And they don't feel heard. And the truth is, a lot of doctors don't have that much information about menopause. Oh. And that's what makes it difficult, and they're not necessarily comfortable always talking about it. So you've got to find a doctor that you trust, and they feel like they're okay talking about it with you and can give you some different options.
Okay.
Next, intermittent fasting has been big for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but I seem to like it because I feel like it helps me balance my energy. Because at one point I was just wanting to sleep all the time. I was exhausted. I had no energy and I didn't know why. And I also adjusted my workout a bit, and I think that that's a big part of it because I don't work out at 52 now like I did when I was 20 years old. I just can't do it. But walking and weights have been a big part of that to help me out.
So exercise, Okay. What about sleep? I know we don't get enough sleep.
We don't get enough sleep, right? And I feel like we need it more than ever. I've tried to get a fixed sleep schedule as much as I can. I used to be the person that was like, I got 3 hours of sleep and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I can't do that anymore. Can you? It's tough.
But it's
really
so important
tough.
to sleep. Now I know it's really, really important.
It is.
Somebody, when I said sleep, somebody went, ha 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 ha.
Right?
I
It
know.
doesn't exist.
And before we go, you got to tell us about your Hot Girl Menopause Smoothie.
You have to have fun with all this, right? Because you want to thrive during this time, not just survive. So this is something I came up with intermittent fasting. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I am somebody that has been dealing with it. So this is it. It's got some protein for you. It's got some blueberries for antioxidants. Got a little bit of maca powder for your hormones.
Oh, I like it. I can feel my libido coming back. I want to do it.
Then it's working.
This is working. Tamsen, you got to come back because we need to know more about menopause. I need to know more about the 34 symptoms, which you didn't know about. I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.